Welcome. Good morning. Wherever you may be on your journey of faith, discovery, community, and service, know that you are welcome here within this community at All People's Church, Unitarian Universalist. I am Julia Sexton, your co-celebrant today, and in the pulpit is our illustrious minister, Laurie King Nelson. Excuse me. Our theme for the month of June is Flourishing Together. We are especially pleased to greet those of you who've not been here before. We encourage you to find community in this beloved community, and for more information, please check the order of service, the QR code for our social media platforms. And if you have not yet done so, please stop at the visitors table near the front door to sign up to receive our newsletter and weekly emails. Now, please settle comfortably. Oh no, I forgot to mention, please stay for the potluck after the service. If you didn't bring a dish, don't worry. We want to meet you and visit with you. So, now, please settle comfortably for a musical prelude.
Thank you, Misha.
Oh.
Come in from the hurt of churching. Experience the peace of this sanctuary and its people. Awaken yourself to the shared mission to seek truth, comfort the afflicted, and challenge injustice. We are all welcome in this space. All backgrounds, sexual orientations, and spiritual paths. One beloved community.
We invite you to rise and embody your spirit for the chalice lighting, opening hymn, and spoken affirmation. Our chalice lighting words today are from Pat Uribe Lichty. We light our chalice today knowing that our hope and our passion are needed to change the world. We bring different gifts to the work, but we come together in one faith that what we do makes a difference both to our world and in ourselves. Please now join us in singing our hymn of the month, number 118, This Little Light of Mine. Now, please join in our affirmation. The words are in your order of service and on the screens. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. Now, if the children and young at heart would come forward to the front of the chancel for our time for all ages.
Yeah, you can hear me because I'm kind of loud. Okay, so listen, let's not look at these yet because I want us to talk about what it means to flourish in life. Do you know what the word flourish means?
I know, but I don't know way I can explain it.
Oh, okay, that's how I feel about things too.
When a flower, I understand, but not in a way enough for me to explain it.
Right. Bear, you're on the right track, though. Like a flower when it's growing and blooming, that's kind of how we flourish, right? Well, you brought flowers. Look at you. Okay, well, that's nice because it goes with what we're talking about. Well, you know, my note says we all have a purpose, but to figure that out, we must have a village around us to feed and water our soul and soil so we can flourish. So what do you think that means to you? How do we water people?
Helping them.
You help them. What?
Helping them and being kind.
Helping them and being kind? Yeah. Do y'all think that we can water people?
This is a fake one.
Do you think we can water people?
Well, we can just well, they do drink water.
Well, people do drink water, that's right. Yes, yes.
Water a person by taking a shower.
You can water a person by taking a shower. That is true.
That doesn't make it grow.
And that's well, I don't know. Maybe it does.
Well,
Maybe it doesn't make you grow in size, but it can make you grow inside by knowing that you need to take care of yourself, right? So I think it does help us grow to take a shower. Yeah. So if you take seeds like these, we have hummingbird flowers, and then we have impatiens. And if you take those seeds and you just throw them out like on this carpet, they won't grow, right? Because what do they need?
they need soil, sun, and well, they get their food and water, but they get their food from the soil.
Yes, yes. So we have to make sure that we are planting. Ooh, you do. You still have coins. We do have to make sure that we are planted in places where we can grow, right? Where we have a village around us that helps take care of us. So I want y'all to commit to being that kind of person that not only grows yourself and feeds yourself, but also the kind of person that helps do that for other people too, right? We want to help do that for other people too, right? Okay, so I want y'all to take, I think that there's enough where you can take one each, okay?
Okay. I want to get that.
Do you want to take one each?
It says love, and this one.
Okay, we gotta hurry.
This one.
Okay, you just want one? Okay, you can have one. Did you get one? You can take two. It's two different kinds of seeds. They're seeds, and you can go, yes, you can go grow some flowers. So you can take two.
In this field.
You're gonna go out in the field and throw them? How about you throw them at home because we already have a field of wildflowers. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go. Both of them? No.
Oh, I see what happened. They're all over your legs. You're going to grow flowers on your legs. That's okay. What you can do is just scoop it off, and you can put it in here if you want.
I have dream and faith.
Okay.
I have dream and love.
Did you get two, or did you only get one? Oh, okay, good. If anybody wants another one, they're welcome to have one.
Really?
Well, no, you get two.
I can't see the metal thing.
Okay. All right. So y'all go forth today and grow something really beautiful. All right?
Speaking of growing, I was growing
No? You were growing what?
Last week I talked about I was growing squash, and now it's starting to gain some color instead of just being green.
Oh my gosh, he's growing squash.
Yeah, and it's butternut squash.
Oh, that's my favorite squash.
Yummy.
It is going to be yummy. You'll have to take pictures and show us, okay? All right. Okay.
I have no.
All right. Well, let's sing them out, and y'all go have a great week. Yeah. We don't want to grow them inside ourselves.
I'd like to invite Stephanie Ryburn to come up and give us a minute of her time for a light on social justice.
Hey everybody, I wanted to give y'all a little information about the Underground, which is our Share the Plate focus this quarter. I know it's something that we don't think about because how many teenagers do we have in here? Just a few in our congregation. But the Underground serves children and youth from the ages of 10 to 22. It's a drop-in shelter for youth that have found themselves on the streets. And they serve that age group where other shelters will not or cannot because of restrictions. So it's a drop-in shelter because of restrictions. They can only do 24 hours at a time, but that doesn't mean that they can't come one day, spend their 24 hours, leave for a day, and then come back. They also have case management for those that come during the day, for the day services. They can connect them to permanent homes, like alternative homes other than foster care. They can connect them with resources, help them find jobs, get their GEDs, get their driver's license, all of the things that you need to become an adult and take care of yourself. They can help get you connected. There's tons of volunteers, and they're always looking for volunteers. So if any of you find it in your heart, or you maybe have that story, like I do, I left home when I was 16. I wish there had been something like that, because the stories that I have, y'all ever want to know, I will tell you, but they're stories I wish nobody ever has to have, you know? So take a look at the website. It's the Underground, the Underground with a whole bunch of stuff, because it's connected to something called Unbound Now, which also helps with human trafficking, which that's a whole entirely different speech I can give. But go check out their website. If you just Google the Underground Fort Worth, it will pop up. It's a lot faster than me telling you. And I don't know if there's anything that you specifically would like to know about the Underground, ask, or again, look at the website. It's just really important to me because I have worked with these people. I have lived through that life, and I've survived by grace, where I didn't have anybody to say, hey, you're not alone. You got this. And now there's something out there full of people who care and love and want to help these kids not become victims of trafficking, not become victims of the street, not become addicts, or if they have already, help them treat that. So it's super important to me, and to probably every kid that is out there on their own. But thanks for listening to me. I hope I told enough. Do y'all feel informed? But yeah, if you have questions, just come ask me. Thank you. Thank you.
We take a sacred pause at this point in our service to honor the holy act of giving. Your contributions will benefit the missions and operations of our church, as well as outreach to the larger community as we share undesignated cash offerings that are collected each week with a charitable or nonprofit organization. Our Share the Plate recipient for the second quarter, as Stephanie just said, is the Underground, which is a part of the larger program called Unbound Now. The mission is to fight human trafficking and to offer youth a safe place off of the streets. For your convenience, you'll find that there's a QR code on the back of the order of service for making contributions. Our offering words are by Laura McGuire. We give what we have been blessed with a surplus of, ranging from time, energy, and prayers to talents and finances. Sometimes we have all of these things to offer the bounty of, and other times only one or another. In certain seasons, we have nothing to offer and are granted equally important blessing of receiving. No one is more or less beloved because of how much they can give or how much they need to receive. We give what we can, when we can, so we can build a more just world. Will the ushers please come forward?
Oh, that was lovely. We printed things off a little differently this morning, so I'm having to find what I'm missing. So, patience. Oh, there we are. Okay. Our reading this morning comes from Embracing an Ethic of Love, Living into Beloved Community is Spiritual Work by Susan Frederick Gray. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is rather long, but being raised a Unitarian Universalist, and like many kids, I had a lot of questions about life and death and God and existence. One night I asked my mom, "Do you believe in God?" She told me she didn't, but that if she did, she would believe that God is love. That message shaped my early theological development. It also taught me that I wasn't asking the right question. Love, which is more a verb than a noun, describes a far more important question. How are we to live? Theology is generally defined as the study of the nature of God, but for Unitarian Universalists, theology is not dogma. It is not a fixed creed to which we must all adhere. We do not have one shared belief system about a divine being or beings. What we share are core values and understandings of our fundamental interdependence and responsibilities to one another. Covenant is one of the ways that we articulate our shared values and the promises we make for how we will live together and be in relationship with our larger community and world. The language of our principles is written as a covenant. They are a promise we make as a wider Unitarian Universalist association to affirm and promote our shared principles. Will you join us, rising in body or spirit, with our hymn number 121, We'll Build a Land. this time in our service, we pause to honor and to give time and attention to those things most important to us. We gather here for healing and for peace in our hearts and in the world, and to honor our time together with shared stories and news from the congregation. Each week there's a journal outside the entrance to the sanctuary where you can write a message of memory or hope. We honor these messages by lighting 3 candles here next to our chalice. And also, at any time during our service, you are welcome to come forward and light a candle in our meditation center next to the chancel. Today, from our book of memory and hope, I am so overwhelmed by all the things I cannot do to make things better in the world. So much hurt, so much suffering. God, divine current, great unknown, please help. Patrick Gutierrez is now a great-grandpa. Wesley Patrick Kuntz, 7 pounds, 10 ounces, will reside in Fort Worth. Old Patrick is anticipating babysitting duty. I don't know why that wasn't making sense to me. I spoke with our office administrator, Carl, yesterday, and he had a mishap on one of his first days of his vacation, and he has a broken elbow. So, but he saved his cat. So, good and bad. Keep him in your thoughts tomorrow as he goes to the orthopedist to see if he's going to need surgery or not. But he's in good spirits, okay? I want you to close your eyes, relax your body, join in some mindfulness. Think of one thing, just one, and clear your mind of everything else. Take that one thing and breathe in clarity around it. And breathe out the clutter. Breathe in the kind words surrounding that one thought. And breathe out the unkindness or anger. Breathe in appreciation and abundance. Breathe out unmindfulness. Breathe in new thoughts. Breathe out the old. Focus your mind on that one thing and let it nourish your soul. Let it fill your mind and your heart. As we spend a few moments of quiet, as we hold and uplift what is on our mind and our heart, and then Misha will bring music for our meditation. I know I've said it before, but sometimes I just want to keep meditating, so you'll keep playing. The man standing more than 6 feet tall and boasting a rather snivelly expression that seems to be his gold standard look, upon hearing of a colleague's death, said simply, "Good, I'm glad he's dead." Of course, the words said over a white supremacist who had died were something like this: he was living out the American values. Both can feel angering if we don't really see what's happening. The erosion of our values, the division between us and them, the withering of what was once pure and holy in our hearts. And we find that we are left with souls that wish ill on those who do treacherous acts in the name of God and country. And then it's just a very short step to wishing ill on anyone whose values differ from our own. Even I have found myself in that place. It happens before I can catch myself, before I can even stop the thought from forming in my mind. Yeah, dude, you have the day you deserve. Sometimes I've gotten to the end of an additional sentiment before I'm jolted by the reality that I am no better than the ones I'm saying that about. That second part usually goes something like, "Ya dirty SOB," in a very Jimmy Cagney voice. I personally think that makes it okay. If you're shocked that ministers can hold these things in their heart, then you either don't know too many ministers, or those ministers aren't being honest with you. I'm trying to change this, in myself, that is. I really am. But it's hard when that behavior has permeated every cell of my existence, from social media to commencement speeches to grocery stores, where, by the way, I recently heard a woman yelling that phrase to a cashier because the woman had to wait in line, and the woman felt the cashier was too lazy to even call up another cashier. So, guess what? That cashier needed to have the day she deserved. I'm inclined to agree with the customer, though. That cashier did need to have the kind of day she deserved. A good day, a kind day, a stress-free day, a day off, a day met with smiles and kind words, a day where others ask how she's doing. We all need to have the kind of day we deserve. And if that means we agree with disagreeable people, then so be it. I have to remind myself constantly that we are all wandering through the desert, a diasporic people estranged from the values that could knit the roughest edges of our hearts back together. Many of us holding on by mere tattered threads, knowing every one of us deserves goodness, even if we are unable to receive it or to show it. This is our reality, and we have to be able to find a way to live out our values in the midst of this chaos. Otherwise, who are we? So what should we say when we encounter those who are less than kind? Those who find themselves with considerable distance between their values and their behavior? How do we respond when someone clearly needs to be put in their place? Do we look to our values to guide our words and actions? Is it really that easy? No, of course not. But that's our starting point. That's the station where the conductor is calling all aboard. I think it was 2 years ago when I shared with you about a sociology project of mine in college. We were studying human behavior and the long arc of mental and behavioral change, and had to choose a societally conditioned behavior and record our journey to eradicating the behavior from our lives. I chose the conditioned response to sneezing. And my goal was to stop saying bless you or gesundheit when someone sneezed, as well as not acknowledging them when someone said it to me. Decades later, and I'm still struggling with that urge, still dealing with the bless you being the first thought, right before the realization that I am still continuing to be conditioned to respond. I had figured that by now I wouldn't even think about it, and yet there it is. Because changing our behavior is hard. There's so many channels that have to be rewired: our brain, our mouths, our hearts. Again, we look to our values to see what needs to be changed. I have to refer to those values often because I stray. Remember the story of the Israelites wandering the desert for 40 years? They would stray from their faith for a while, realize how far away they had gotten, and then remind themselves of who they were, and then circle back to their path again. We all need to be reminded of who we are trying to be. Every morning, we have the opportunity to align ourselves with that path and our values. And it's our ability to be conditioned that is the problem, because it definitely isn't our values. Those are pretty clear cut. Love is the center from which our values are built. And as you use, this is all we need to transform our hearts. The UUA tells us that we are called to adapt to an ever-changing world and continually align our hearts and minds with our evolving ethical commitments. And it requires a willingness to do the inner work necessary to put our deeply held values into action. The work of changing our hearts to fit our values is deeply connected to the core framework of our faith. With a loving heart, we acknowledge that our faith and understanding of truth are never completely finished, and that is why we covenant to ever open ourselves to growing spiritually and ethically. We must also acknowledge, and even when we disagree, celebrate cultures, experiences, and theologies, pushing ourselves to learn and grow in our understanding of others, even the difficult ones. Because if we don't, how can we affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person? I mean, how are we to build a truly welcoming world if we don't challenge our own personal biases and the larger systems of harm that they create? Building a beloved community must include every person with whom we interact, or we will only be building a space where we, not everyone, can belong and thrive and flourish. It is radical work for sure, because aligning our hearts with these values is often uncomfortable. It requires active self-examination, unlearning conditioned biases, and leaning into the discipline of changing our internal responses when they no longer serve our highest ethical aims and goals. And then there's this pesky fact that we are also being watched, not by the government. Well, who knows? Maybe. No. But I'm acutely aware that what I do and what I say is an example in this sanctuary and out in the world. And I am working hard to occupy my faith in such a way that there could be no mistaking my belief in my values, because they are actionable values. And when making difficult decisions, it will be seen that I filter them through those values. Intentionally asking if my potential outcomes align with my guiding principles, which, truth be told, continues to be a work in progress. But I keep trying and keep assessing my growth. Self-accountability gives me a bit of wiggle room and grace when I need it, which is often. And I'm grateful to be surrounded by a church family that challenges me to break my conditioned thoughts and behaviors. Because it is this holy work, this transformation of ourselves together, that will change our world for future generations. I want y'all to have the day you deserve. One filled with love. Will you rise, embody your spirit, and join us in our closing hymn, number 1017 in the Teal hymnal, Building a New Way.
Well, now I gotta find my pages. Our chalice extinguishing words are from Brian Keeley. The chalice is now extinguished, but its light lives on in the minds and hearts and souls of each one of us. Carry that flame with you as you leave this place and share it with those you know, with those you love, and most especially with those you've yet to meet.
Our benediction words come from Bert Q. Take this as an invitation to imagine how wide this world can be, to face the closing doors before us and move toward the opening windows in our lives. Take this as an invitation to remember a critical truth, that none of us have it all figured out, that we help one another grow and change. Take this as an invitation to cross thresholds of challenge, not on our own, not for ourselves alone, but side by side, spirits rising and expanding together. Let us go now to share our gifts and truths with each other and this world. There are a few jars of seeds left. If anyone wants to take one, they're welcome to. And I want to encourage you to stay for potluck in Coleman Hall. I understand that there's a special peach cobbler in there that the Inmans have made from their very own peaches. Yeah, so y'all better save me a piece of that. You better. Service has now ended. Go in love.